The growing prevalence in the number of children presenting with attentional difficulties is a conversation at the forefront of educational discourse. If you enter any classroom, you will find at least one child presenting with some form of inattention, impulsivity, or hyperactivity. The question is, however, when can these behaviors be ascribed to the child as just being a child? And when do these behaviors become pervasive, interfering with the child's day-to-day functioning at school and at home? In this film, we investigate childhood attentional difficulties and look at the typical symptoms presented by children who are challenged by a lack of concentration and focus. ADHD, or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, is a condition where children present with a combination of inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. Children with ADHD are often thought to be wild and uncontrollable, right? Well, as a matter of fact, this is not true. The quiet little girl sitting in the classroom, drawing pictures and living in her own dream world, could display just as many symptoms of ADHD as the wild little boy running all over the classroom and jumping up and down. The only difference is that one presents with hyperactive behavior and the other one does not. The three main symptoms of ADHD are inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. This is an inability to direct or sustain attention for the required time appropriate to the age-expected outcomes. Inattention also includes lack of concentration, preoccupation, absent-mindedness, or daydreaming. Impulsivity is multifaceted and could be described as any behavior or words that are characterized by having little forethought, thus acting without thinking. Impulsivity often goes hand in hand with inattention and/or hyperactivity. Hyperactivity. This is when a child is constantly active, moving around, rocking on his or her chair, walking around the classroom, and disrupting others. How do you as a parent know if your child has ADHD? Let's have a look at the following common signs. The child will be so engrossed in playing or watching television that they do not respond when they're being called. They will often play with their food and take a long time to eat. They will take longer than usual to get dressed in the morning or get ready for school. They will forget and then lose items such as lunch boxes or school clothes on the playground. The child will struggle to fall asleep at night and might have nightmares. The parents will send a child to fetch something and the child just does not return as expected. They will then find the child engrossed in a totally different activity. It is as if the parent had never given the child an instruction at all. Parents who suspect that their children have attentional difficulties often take them to educational psychologists to have them assessed. Children are then sometimes referred to a medical professional for medication. Strattera, Ritalin, and Concerta are often prescribed to address childhood symptoms of ADHD.
Ritalin and Concerta are both central nervous system stimulants, which allow more dopamine to be available to stimulate brain cells, which in turn increase focus and attention. Strattera, on the other hand, is not a stimulant, but is a selective noradrenaline or norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. Thus, Strattera assists in making more norepinephrine, which is a neurotransmitter available in the brain. Strattera is long-acting.
There are many parents who do not want to put their children on prescription medication. They prefer a more natural alternative. We asked a homeopath how she would support children who have been diagnosed with ADHD.
My name is Dr. Tanif Davidson and I'm a homeopath practicing in Johannesburg. I've chosen my profession in natural medicine because I love the fact that it doesn't have side effects and people really benefit from the herbs and supplements and homeopathic remedies that we use in practice, and it's helped a lot of children with their focus and concentration memory problems.
How do you perceive the child with attentional difficulties?
My approach is to find out why are they struggling. So some children might not be sleeping either enough hours or getting good quality sleep, so they are then tired during the day, tired in class and can't focus. Some actually have actual focus and concentration difficulties with executive function. So while they're trying to concentrate, they're finding it very difficult. Some children are also very anxious, and while you're anxious, you can't focus as easily as you would want to. So I try and find out all those different reasons for their concentration problems and then address those individually.
What is your opinion of mainstream medication prescribed to children who present with ADHD?
Allopathic medicine would be using more your drug kind of medications, Concerta, Strattera, Ritalin, to help children with attentional problems. I don't mind that. I definitely see a place for that. I've seen a lot of children really benefiting from those medications. At the same time, I've met the children who have tried those medications and either have very severe side effects, or at the same time it also doesn't work for them, and then they come in looking for alternatives.
What alternatives are there to treat childhood attentional difficulties?
I personally am qualified as a homeopath. I use a lot of supplements and herbal medications over and above homeopathy. I would use a combination of those to help the child and get them into balance so that they're sleeping well, they've got more energy, feeling calm and relaxed and happy, and then focusing at the same time and giving them things to assist their memories, that they're learning better.
The child's teacher is usually one of the first people to identify if he or she has an attentional difficulty.
As teachers, we often find children in the classroom who present with symptoms of attentional difficulties. I have found the following strategies to be useful in the classroom to support focus and concentration. I make sure that my classroom is always well organized and the structure is conducive to learning. I believe that having children sit in neat rows facing the board or the teacher is less distracting than having them seated around tables or facing one another. I usually put children who struggle to focus either close to the board or close to my desk so that I can monitor and support them. I like to make eye contact with the children during lessons so that I can see which ones are not attending. It is good to focus children with an oral cue or a rhyme with gestures. Teachers need to be mindful to break lessons and instructions into usable chunks. You can do this by listing activities on the board. When I give children an instruction, I let them repeat the instruction to one another. This gives the opportunity to hear the instruction again and also to verbalize the instruction to one another. It helps to have a cue set up with a child who struggles to maintain concentration. This can be a touch on the shoulder or placing a sticky note on the child's desk.
We hope this film has given you some insight into this complex topic. For more information, visit the University of Johannesburg's Knowledge for Action website.